1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
You to grab yourself $1,000 here in about 7 or 8 minutes, closer to 2:30. It's a chance for you to go fund yourself. You get that crack every hour, about up to 16 times every day. So think about that. Why don't you? Cut your arm off with that, you son of a bitch. I was watching that Midwest Furfest video in the break.
It's wild, dude.
That Bill posted at AlanCoxShow.com. This is something that they do out in Rosemont, Illinois, which is right near O'Hare. I don't know if this was at the Allstate Arena. Probably not, but it's probably... Usually they do these kinds of things at hotel ballrooms.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in stuff like this. I had a friend that went to the one in Pittsburgh years ago. He went like around, I want to say like 2003 or 2004.
I think that's still the biggest one in the United States is the Anthrocon in Pittsburgh. They started that a couple years before I left. So it's been going for a while.
I would go to stuff like this.
So he went to that, and, you know, there was some cool, I mean, not cool, but like you'd see the people in the costumes and all that stuff. But like it's grown so much more. Like this community is so big compared to what it was all those years ago.
I wonder if they are open to people like us. Like,
making
or just
fun of them?
No, not making fun of them, but like I would genuinely want to know more about the culture of it. Like, is it only sex stuff, or is this like that girl who is like, I made up my own animal because I don't identify as human? You know what I mean? Like,
most furries, though, there's a dissension in the ranks. There are a lot of furries who are very, very specific about the fact that they aren't in it for sex. They're like, there's like the sex furries and then the non.
I want to be this dog or
They're
wolf
like,
or
don't
whatever.
lump me in. You know, I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know? You're dressed up like a dog. What do I know?
Yeah, they feel free when they're dressed up like
Well, that's what I'm
their
saying.
persona.
Yeah. I think that's kind of cool. Like,
So you're wondering how open
I
they
can
would
see
be
why
to
it'd be fun.
Yeah.
like
I-
lurkers walking
Yeah.
around.
I'm sure there are.
Curiosity killed the person dressed up as a cat. But there's one girl in here who said that she identifies, and she looks like she's kind of dressed up like your garden variety, Japanese cartoon character. She says she identifies as somewhere between a wolf and a kitten.
a witten.
A witten, yeah. And, I mean, we've all met this girl before.
I live in immigrant housing with a bunch of other undocumented people because I don't have an ID or a social security card or any credit because I'm trying to live off the grid because that's how committed I am to not being human.
How old's your baby?
She's 5 months old. Shout out to my parents for adopting her and my gay boyfriend for staying in Ohio because he's gay.
Yeah, so there you go, I don't have to tell you that she's white. You know that. But nevertheless, there it is. So
Man.
there's a lot more where that comes from.
I love videos like this. This guy that he went to.
Who is he, by the way?
He's just some YouTuber, and he went to Talladega for a race, hanging out with a bunch of drunk rednecks. That
Sure.
one's really interesting. He went to a flat Earth convention. That one's really
That's what
funny.
I'm saying, to go see these people.
Yeah.
They genuinely believe it. Now, my thing is that I'm a pretty impressionable person, so I don't know that I would love going and then be like, they got a point, man.
You walk out of a flat Earth conference and be like, yeah, I don't know how round this place
That's
is.
what I'm saying.
This gravity law thing. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm too trusting or what, or if I'm just really gullible. But
On the one hand, I'm glad that all these things exist. On the other hand, it's terribly sad that people are so desperate for community that they're like, I don't have anyone, but I can go to a flat Earth convention, pretend that's a thing, and hang out with a bunch of other people.
And the flat Earth one, it seems
I can
like
dress like a dog. I'm so uncomfortable in my own skin, or I'm so despondent at being confined to this humanoid form that I'm going to dress like an animal.
So
and
you
that's
don't-
my community.
you don't think that the flat earthers believe it, or some of them don't?
No, the flat Earthers, if
They're
you
trying
They
to-
literally just want to be a part of something.
They're like any other conspiracy group.
Yeah,
they're trying
they're trying to make
trying to
friends.
sell you something.
They're trying to make friends. And
merch.
they're trying to sell merch, and they're trying to get people to follow them.
It's a scam.
Like they're all just trying. It's attention-seeking behavior.
well, yeah,
But like it's to a degree where they're like, okay, I'm gonna buy into. That's why this flat Earth thing isn't something you heard about 10 years ago or 15 years ago. It's new because you can get on Facebook and make this group and be like, hey, the Earth's flat, and people are like, really? What's your evidence? And then they
no,
will
except
post
it's not
these YouTube videos.
It's not new. It's been around. This comes back around
But-
every decade or so.
but
The
it's-
Flat Earth Society.
But it's blown up in the past 3 or 4 years.
Well,
I
they've
feel
had like crazy celebrity people endorse it and stuff. Tila Tequila was one who was like going all crazy about it, and they've had all kinds of different people.
Because it gets headlines.
Right.
If Tila Tequila wants to be in the news, she goes, "Well, the Earth is flat," and then she gets people go, "Hey, look how dumb she is," but she's just happy to get the attention.
Yeah.
And they also, if you watch this one documentary, or this guy that went to the Flat Earth convention, a lot of anti-Semitism tied into the Flat Earth
really?
community.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
See,
the
here's
Jews control the banks
Yeah.
and science and the weather, and it's like, okay, you don't have to
don't
dig
like
real
that.
deep. All these people who, you don't have to dig real deep to find some really common threads among all those people.
Man, I don't like to. I guess I'm just super naive, and I'm realizing that. Like, I like to think that they feel comfortable. This is their community of people. They all believe the same thing. Even if we think they're whack jobs, they're comfortable together, and they're just trying to fit in. But I don't like to think that there's just some people controlling it, trying to prey on these horribly sad people.
That's
Like,
exactly
that
what it
sucks. These people who feel like they don't belong anywhere, and you're going to take all their money.
Well,
And
no, I don't know that there's anyone at
for
the
a sense of community.
I don't know that there's anyone at the top. I don't think that there's a C.
but there's-
Montgomery Burns, but I mean, there's a
There's
guy.
people within it, yeah.
You can, if there's enough people online, then you rent a Holiday Inn ballroom and go, hey, Flat Earth Society is going to meet in January in Albany. Come on out. People come. They set up tables. They're making crap. They're trying to sell other people their crap. I don't think these people are. What'd you call them? Whack jobs?
Being preyed upon.
I mean,
No, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
get-
what I'm saying. Like,
it's nonsense.
now we will all show up for Birds Aren't Real Con.
Absolutely.
Because that one
I
makes
bought my
Clearly.
T-shirt.
Yes.
I was happy to give them my money.
Right. But I watched this documentary on Netflix about flat earthers, and there's a guy that makes these like flat earth displays. They're like domes with a map on it, and then they're like 3D maps. It looks really cool, and they're really intricately made because he's like a talented woodworker, and he's making so much money selling these things.
but you're saying that you don't think that he believes it. He just sees it as a business opportunity.
Yeah, he found people that'll buy his stuff.
Right. Yeah, he says he believes it.
Can't
but
hate
it's
that
just
hustle.
because they're not going to buy it from someone that's a non-believer. But then they also do these experiments where they're proving that the Earth. Like there's one scene in the movie where they are trying to prove that the Earth isn't. There's no curvature to the Earth, and they absolutely prove that there is curvature to the
Of course.
Earth. And they go, "Whoa!"
You guys are going to edit this out of the documentary, right?
They're just like, "Oh, well, we kind of got to recalibrate some things."
Hey, I got $1,000 for you. Once an hour, you got a chance to go fund yourself. So good luck.
Hey, it's Rover. Go fund yourself. We have your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword YELL to the number 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info, standard data, and message rate supply in this nationwide contest. That's YELL to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself from 100.7 WMMS.
What's the name of that Flat Earth documentary?
Oh, what was it? It was I did a
Line of
Flicks
Sight?
of Flat Earth Netflix. I did a Flicks and Bill on it, but it was a while ago.
I'm always looking for good documentaries.
It's called Behind the Curve.
Yeah!
Behind the Curve.
There
It's
you
very
go.
interesting, very funny, and it's not too. It's like an hour and a half, so you don't have to sit through like multiple episodes or anything like that.
Sure.
And it's pretty funny.
All right.
I did that one with Jim Twos. If you want to check out Flicks and Bill on iHeartRadio podcasts.
I was.
New episode's coming soon.
She mentioned that she was going to be there, and of course, I was clicking through the photo gallery the Cleveland Scene had of the emo night the other night. Mm-hmm. And there's a little sweaty Mary Santora and her sister.
Dude, I was so sweaty. I had to put my hair in a ponytail. It was just a mess.
Just grinning from ear to ear at emo night.
You're having a great time.
Right there. And on second thought, I feel bad referring to your sister as the foxy sister. Because both your sisters are pretty foxy.
Yeah, we got a good-looking family.
I mean, you know.
Well, just my younger sister's only like 26, so she's just...
That's the one that was in the
She's a
picture with
little
you?
guy. Yes.
Talk about
Yeah.
bazooms.
But she's had 2 kids. Yeah, she's got buzugs.
Oh, she got a rack?
She
Yeah.
got slops now.
She got a kid rack? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
But there's still, I mean... I like the word bazugs, so I'm going to keep using it.
No one's ever used bazugs.
But
Bazugs are
they go away. I mean, after you're done doing the do with those
Yeah, I mean,
kids.
yeah.
They're not babies anymore, right?
No, she has a 1-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's a baby.
All right.
But yeah, it was such a good time. If you like that kind of music, I've been trying to get Poundcake to come. It's once a month, and I'm like, dude, you would have so much fun. It's literally just people standing and singing at the top of your lungs and dancing, and some people mosh pit. You can do whatever you want.
Every
but
time
it's
you
so
go,
great.
I'm always on like a cleanse. Like I'm not drinking for a month.
I don't drink.
You can't go sober?
I wouldn't want to go to that sober. But yeah,
Where would you like to go
It's still just
sober?
as fun.
Well,
If you like the music.
I don't like going to clubs, period, sober.
Oh.
So, I mean, usually going out equals me having like a drink or maybe I'll smoke beforehand.
I would need to go to the, what'd you say, Bill? The Chamber has the more age-appropriate night for me?
Yeah.
See, I need
Not
to go.
just any like Friday or Saturday.
I need to go, right, the prior generation version of that.
Well, it's
Because it's not Fall
Goth?
Out Boy to me.
yeah,
and
just more
it's-
goth and more, you know.
So, Mary,
It's not as trendy.
is it about like a bunch of Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance,
Well, yes, it's that, and then but it's also
Avenged
like
Sevenfold?
You know, the
It's
greatest
also
punk
like-
band, Avenged Sevenfold. He's like whipping out bands now that he's...
it's also like Blink 182 and Taking Back Sunday and Mayday Parade and
Good Charlotte.
Good Charlotte. Yeah, it's that whole genre from like late 90s to like early 2010s. That 20 years, our 20 years, as much as you know what I mean.
all that great music that
was
came
great.
out.
It's
from those
great.
things.
It
was
all
fun.
those great songs.
Yeah. One of these days
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out.
It's so fun.
I'll bring my
it's
kids.
so much fun.
It's once a month, so there's.
It's the second Friday of every month.
Okay.
The next one they're doing like a Valentine's Day special. I'm not going to be there for that one because I will be headlining the Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls. If you're looking for a Valentine's Day weekend plans.
By the way, I think I'm going to Vegas solo. Speaking of the Valentine's Day,
What?
Because
Well, he's got his friends out there.
the girl that the girl that I was going with, she's in a relationship, so she's like, we were gonna go the 15th, and she's like, oh well, I think my boyfriend had something special planned for that weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, well, fine, I'll go to Vegas by myself.
Wasn't
then.
she already in a relationship when you made the plans with her?
She was, but like I
She
didn't
just realized that that's Valentine's Day?
Well, she said, yeah, it would be cool, but she didn't realize her boyfriend had something planned. Like, they thought they would do something Valentine's Day, not Valentine's Day weekend.
I see.
So,
She can't tell him I'm going out to Vegas with my gay friend?
well, I already snatched her away for a week in San Diego.
Why doesn't he? Well, I guess you don't need to tag along. I'm like, you go, make a weekend
Hey,
of
for
it. You know?
Valentine's Day, you want to go hang out with a bunch of gay people?
Yes, it's the most romantic thing you could do.
Valentine's gay.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
I'm-
good time.
Valentine's Day.
And plus, I'm visiting a couple, too. So, like, I'm going to be third wheeling it. I would just go off and, like, disappear.
Yeah, hang up at the pool. Unless it's 50 degrees like it was when Bill was
Oh,
there.
yeah, that was great.
I think I'm going to take a trip for when I celebrate 1 year of sobriety, which will be March 3rd.
Oh,
I think
let
I'm
me
gonna
put it
go-
in my calendar.
You're going to put in my 1 year anniversary?
March 3rd.
March
I've
3rd.
already got something that day.
Oh,
But
Alan.
congratulations in advance to you.
Oh, you'll-
I've already,
you'll
you know
hear
what?
all about it,
I've
don't
already
worry.
got it in there.
Do you really?
Marry 1 year sober.
For real?
Yeah.
Aw.
Well, you've only mentioned it 4,000 times.
'Cause
One
I'm
of those times.
excited.
I
You're
understand.
No.
I'm just breaking your balls.
I can't be sober because I smoke weed, Bill.
It's not true.
I know it's not
Yeah,
true.
sober just means alcohol.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I understand. But yeah,
You're
I was
kind of
I was
a dry
just
drunk, though.
a dry drunk. What does that mean?
I don't know. You just still kind of. I'm just making up a term.
You
Well,
mean-
it's a term,
It's a
but
term,
you're not
that's-
actually.
yeah, that's a
Trying to
term.
tell
Yeah,
you that
yeah.
you have no vaginal moisture, Mary.
Hey, maybe I do need those gelatin eggs.
Maybe you do. A little gelatinous egg never hurt anybody,
A
right?
little.
Kick out some of that albumin.
Gross.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take a couple days and go sit on a beach somewhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like Rehoboth or where you...
Sure.
Where's Rehoboth?
I've never heard of that.
Delaware.
The gay dude is asking, where's Rehoboth Beach?
That's a gay...
Wow, last time I
Apparently it's a
checked
gay
it was...
beach.
Well, I usually think of, like, Provincetown, Fire Island.
Well, those fit those check the boxes, too.
I was thinking like Miami.
I would love to
somewhere
go-
in Florida.
I want to do, like, market days. I haven't done that yet.
You want to go antiquing with someone? Is that what you're trying to say?
You talking to me?
Yes, you said I want to go to market days.
In
Is that what is that, an antiquing thing?
No, in Chicago,
Oh.
they have market days. I'm sure you're well aware.
Where
of
is
what-
that? Market days?
Yes, in Boys Town.
Oh, well, I only lived there for a couple of years.
Well, it's still a big thing in Chicago. Like, gays come from all over.
It's a big gay thing. I'm not a gay man, so I don't go up there.
Okay.
But I didn't know it was called market days.
I mean, there's gay pride and then there's market days. But yeah.
Yeah.
Two things that Boys Town provides for us young gays.
I'll tell you what I did see. Speaking of Boys Town in Chicago, there was this restaurant that was a really good restaurant there. It had been there for a decade plus called Home Bistro. And the people who owned it are from here. And they shut it down there, and they're opening it up here in Little Italy.
What is it?
It's called Home Bistro.
Oh, it's an Italian place?
They must have made
it's
a
like
lot of
no, it's not
money there.
Italian. It's like a whole bunch of. Well, they were there when I moved back in 06. And it was real good. And I was just reading the other day, they were like, we're from Cleveland, we want to go home, and we miss our families or whatever, and we're going to reboot this restaurant at home in Cleveland.
I can't understand why they can't just have both. If they were making, why would you close?
Because it's very expensive to run 2 restaurants in 2 different cities.
But it's very rare that that you make a
and one of them will probably fail.
Restaurant. That's what I'm saying. You had a successful restaurant in a major city.
Yes, because you had all of your focus on that restaurant. But you had 110%.
And they want to come home.
What if it doesn't work?
They want to be closer to family and stuff.
What if it fails here? What if people are like, we have enough time?
You got to take a chance.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what do you live in you're incredibly careful.
What do you mean?
That's why you're never going to make it in this business.
Yeah, he doesn't take chances.
Risks.
What do you mean? That's like making it in a bigger market, and you're like,
people don't think of things in terms of restaurant bigger markets, right?
But it's more money.
They live there, not necessarily. There are 4 million times more restaurants to compete with, by the way.
And the rent in, like, the overhead in a place like Chicago is astronomical compared to being in Cleveland.
Gastronomical, Bill.
Now that's funny.
There he is.
That was good.
See what happens when you take a chance. Make the world smile.
Went with my gut.
Hey.
He did it.
He's doing it.
He did it.
I like it.
Or maybe he got taken for a ride.
There you go. Maybe our accident wasn't an accident at all. Maybe he did that entirely on purpose.
Our accident is not an accident at all.
Uh-huh. Alan, Mary replaced alcohol with weed. It's like a meth head saying, I'm clean, but now I get drunk.
She's
Not
been
even
smoking
close.
weed.
First of all, sober literally means you don't drink alcohol. And B, if I can speak for you,
Go ahead.
and I think I can.
I think you should.
You were smoking weed even when you were drinking.
Yes, but I also would need to clarify to people that I don't wake up and smoke weed. I don't smoke weed to get through my day. I don't smoke weed every single day. I probably smoke weed or eat edibles 3 times a month. And it's never something that I've had a bender on for 5 straight days and called off work and crashed a car. So
Now,
I think that...
if we can infuse one of these alien eggs
With?
with marijuana,
And no, I don't
would you
need
be
that.
open to it then?
No, not at all.
What if we confuse one of these alien eggs with a Foster's oil can and you chug that puppy down? Maybe it's a Mickey's Big Mouth.
If there's anything I replaced alcohol with, it was
Love.
diet and exercise. I got obsessive about going to the gym.
That's what everybody does when they
Right.
replace. You
But
got
that's
to
what I'm
replace
saying.
one vice with another.
I like it when people text in and they're like, don't know anything about me, and then tell me how I live my life.
It's not even about you. It's about what the word sober literally means.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people that go, well, I go, no, that word
That's
literally means you're not
exactly
drinking.
what it means,
so,
right.
you know, call yourself sober if you don't drink and smoke pot.
Right.
Be free to be you.
Yeah.
Right?
Cali sober.
You're off the hook.
Whatever.
Joe in Philly.
Yo, what up, guys?
What up?
Man, I was super upset with Poundcake. Wasn't familiar with Rehoboth, Delaware.
I don't go anywhere, though, so don't be disappointed in me. I don't get out much.
You got to stretch your tentacles there, Poundcake.
With what money and what time? You take me, Joe.
Yeah. You got an air mattress you can crash on, Joe?
I'm already a daddy to kids. I don't need Poundcake under my wing.
He's looking for a zaddy, not a daddy.
There's actually an area right outside Philly called New Hope, and like growing up, if you were from New Hope, like that was like, it was like, oh man, you're gay if you're from New Hope. It was like one of those things. It's super nice, super quaint. The houses are beautiful. The bars and restaurants are really nice.
Does that sound like something you'd want to spend your money on, Poundcake? Nice little quaint. Oh, he's on the phone. Well, listen, I'll tell you what. If you would like to be Poundcake's personal travel advisor to the gay hotspots of the Eastern Seaboard, Joe.
Gaycations.
Well, don't they still have gay guys who do or gay guy happy hour in Cleveland? It's like the last Friday or Thursday or first Friday, Thursday.
Happy hour?
That's called Final Fridays at whatever that place is called.
All Saints Public House.
All
Mary
Saints Public
Santora.
House. There you go. Sure.
Hosted by yours truly.
Hey! I don't know. All right, listen, I hope, Joe, that Poundcake's misdirection hasn't ruined your entire day.
Yeah, it really bums me out.
Well, I'm sorry. Okay, on to bigger and better things. Thank you, Joe. There's Joe out in Philadelphia.
How you gonna be mad that I don't know the gay locations that
In
I'm supposed to know?
Delaware.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's just Rehoboth is so famous, I thought that you had...
I've never heard of that in my life. I
Okay.
can't believe that.
Well, there you go. All right, I've got a break. I'm going to have those Beer Fest passes for you. Now, if you're going, you're not sober, okay? Beer Fest, it's Winter Beer Fest. It's the 24th and 25th of this month. local, regional, and hard-to-find craft beers for your enjoyment. So I'll hand that off after the break. 35192 if you want to text.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio.